So during this weekly fragrance rotation, it's been extremely cold where I'm located, even getting down to -9 degrees Fahrenheit. So that means I had to choose my fragrances pretty carefully and fragrances that can actually push through such cold weather. So if you're curious what fragrances I chose to wear throughout the week, stay tuned to find out. Hey, what's going on guys? Hunter here and welcome back to my channel. And if you are new, what I do is I make fragrance related content. So if you love fragrances, go ahead and smash the subscribe button down below. But that is right guys, we're gonna be doing another weekly fragrance rotation and it's been extremely cold and like non-stop snowing. So like I said, I had to pick my fragrances very carefully. So yeah, let's go ahead and start this week off on Sunday as we always do. All right, so on Sunday, it was pretty cold. It actually didn't snow on Sunday. But it got down to around like 5 degrees Fahrenheit. But on Sunday, I pretty much just relaxed at home, didn't really do much. And I decided to wear a fragrance or actually test a fragrance that is new in my collection and I haven't really tested out yet. And that fragrance is actually Tom Ford's Costa Azzurra. Now, if you did catch my first impression of this, I did really enjoy it. It wasn't my favorite, of course, like Tom Ford fragrance I own. But actually, after testing it on Sunday, I only did 2 sprays, just like pretty much on my arms and stuff, just to wear it and see how it performs and stuff like that. But this is actually very enjoyable. I actually kind of like it a little bit more than my first impression after wearing it, seeing the dry down, how it actually develops on my skin. But this just reminds me of like going on vacation and then like during the evening while you're on vacation, somewhere like tropical, you're going out to like a nice dinner. That's what this reminds me of. It's very gentlemanly, very mature, and just very nice, guys. This is a phenomenal fragrance, actually. I do really enjoy Costa Azzurra. Now, I'm not sure if this signature line is the same as the private blend or the Acqua. I do remember really enjoying the Acqua version. It was my favorite beside over like Neroli Portofino, Mandarino, Diamalfi. Those ones, this one I did enjoy the most, but I don't really remember exactly how that one smelled compared to this one. But that's what I pulled out to wear on Sunday, relaxing at home and testing was Costa Azzurra by Tom Ford. All right, so heading into Monday. Monday is my first day at work. So I was pretty much at work most of the day. It was snowing and it wasn't very cold. I think it got down to like the low 10s, I believe. But the fragrance I chose is actually a pretty strong, potent fragrance. And that fragrance is Commodities Velvet Plus. If you're not familiar with the new Commodity line, they have like the Velvet Minus, which is more like close and intimate. They have Velvet, which is a little bit more bolder. Then you have Velvet Plus, which is gonna be the boldest of them all. I think they call it Scent Space Bold for this one, for me and everyone else. But Velvet Plus, I actually did go heavy on this one to work. I was just in the mood, starting to up my sprays and stuff like that just to see and test different things. But I did go 10 sprays with Velvet Plus to work. I didn't get any compliments, unfortunately, but with Velvet Plus, guys, this is very smoky. Very smoky. It actually kind of reminds me of Menthol Intense Cafe, if you are familiar with that fragrance, minus the coffee in that fragrance and a little bit more smoky. That is what this fragrance reminds me of. And I was actually wearing this one. It was strong. I smelled this throughout my whole like 10-hour shift pretty much. And I was around like actually a lot of coffee and stuff. So it did kind of give me Menthol Intense Cafe vibes because of that, but on its own, it is a little bit different and much more smoky. So if you like Menthol Intense Cafe, but you wanted it to be a little bit more smoky and not really a fan of the coffee note, definitely check out Velvet Plus. This stuff is a beast as well. So yeah, I haven't really tested the other minus in the original, but the Plus, guys, I love this one. Okay, so for Tuesday, I'm also at work all day pretty much. It was still cold. I think it got down to like 10 degrees. I don't believe it was a snowy day though, but yeah, just freezing and we have snow everywhere. Still pretty much, even though it's not snowing, everything's been frozen over. But I actually pulled out a brand new fragrance in my collection that I actually got on a swap. And I'm actually surprised I haven't had this one. It is a blue fragrance. And I'm glad to finally have this part of my collection. And it is Versace Dylan Blue. Now, to be honest with you guys, I know this one gets a ton of hype. This is most people's favorite Versace from what I've seen. And for very good reason. I'm actually shocked I didn't have this part of my collection or even actually tried to actually smell it or go out of my way to smell it and get my nose on it. But I am so happy with this one. Now, on Tuesday to work, I did go 10 sprays of this stuff, and this stuff is strong. It may not be as strong and in your face as Sauvage EDT, but guys, I'm going to be doing a review, or not well, yeah, I'll be doing a review too, but I'm going to be doing a comparison between like all the blue fragrances, like Y80P, Bleu de Chanel Sauvage, maybe Profumo or Profondo, Dylan Blue, because this, guys, is one of my favorite blue fragrances that I own. It might be my second, so I'll let you guys know during that video what my favorite one is. But I'm actually surprised with this one, guys. It's just so masculine, so crowd pleasing. I'll let you guys know I do prefer this over Sauvage. This is some good juice right here. But that's what I chose to wear to work on Tuesday, is Dylan Blue. All right, so for Wednesday, still at work most of the day. And the fragrance I chose was actually no longer the newest flanker, because they just came out with a brand new flanker that's over this one that I'm very curious to try. But the fragrance I chose is Paco Rabanne's 1 million Parfum. Now, they did just launch a 1 million elixir, which some reviews have been popping up. I'm very curious on how that one's gonna smell. But 1 million Parfum, I did pull this one out just because it was a very cold day, and this stuff is potent and strong and can definitely push through those cold winter months. But I did go 8 sprays of this, so a little bit more light, because this is, like I said, very potent juice right here. It is obviously a Parfum concentration, which is the highest. But with this one, it is very different than the original 1 million. You have a ton of white florals in here. You have a ton of saltiness in here. You don't really get that bubblegum sweetness from the original. Honestly, I'm not a fan of Paco Rabanne 1 million, the original. I much prefer the Parfum, but what I actually prefer over the Parfum is Lucky. That one is just amazing for like fall. It has like hazelnut in there, very nutty fragrance, very coffee-like. But 1 million Parfum, this is really enjoyable. And this was pushed off my skin pretty much the whole entire day until I got home. It's so good. And this has got me many compliments in the past at work. Unfortunately, on Wednesday, I did not get any compliments with 1 million Parfum. I wasn't really around that many people. But yeah, I do really enjoy this flanker, and I'm excited to try 1 million elixir as well. All right, so heading into Thursday, it is my last day at work for the week. And Thursday happened to be the coldest day of the entire week, and probably for the entire couple of years, guys. It was absolutely freezing on Thursday. It got down to -9 degrees Fahrenheit. So think of that, guys. Extremely cold. So I wanted to pull out a fragrance that will be able to push through the -9 degrees, and I actually wanted an oud. I was craving a good oud fragrance. So I actually decided to go with one of my favorite ouds out of my entire collection, and that is Acqua di Parma's Oud. Now with this one, I did go 10 sprays as well. And this stuff is a beast, an absolute beast. For some reason, this does not leave my skin, and it just projects without stopping. I mean, everyone around you could smell this one, even though it's not really that crowd pleasing. It's actually not the worst either. Now with Acqua di Parma Oud, it has a combination of what I get mostly. The dominant notes is orange and oud combined together, which is pretty unique. Most of the time you have like rose oud combo, stuff like that. You don't really have like an orange and oud. And also what I love about this one, guys, this is one of the most natural oud smelling fragrances in my entire collection. They did it so well. But this line in general, they go based off of one natural ingredient, which of course is oud. So this does have 100% natural oud in this fragrance. And you can smell it. It does have that sort of barnyardy smell. If you actually dive deep into it, it's so enjoyable, guys. And this did not disappoint for such cold weather, guys. This does not have a problem at all. A lot of fragrances, they just can't handle the cold. Acqua di Parma Oud can, for sure. And that's what I decided to pull out for Thursday. All right, so on Friday, I was at home on Friday off work, and it was actually a snowy, cold day as well. Not as cold as Thursday, but still very chilly. I didn't really do much, kind of just stayed at home, went and got some food, stuff like that. But I pulled out a fragrance, guys. Man, you guys have to check this one out if you love like woody, spicy fragrances, because at the price you can get these at, oh my goodness, it is an absolute steal. And the fragrance I chose was actually Zara x Jo Malone's Ebony Wood. And I do have a full bottle of this stuff, guys. I actually picked this fragrance up for, I believe, I got actually a kit of it for $19.99. It came with an extra 15 ml travel spray as well. But yeah, $19.99 for this fragrance, guys, and that is a steal for the quality of this stuff. And obviously the perfumer is Jo Malone. If you know Jo Malone, you know that she has a niche house. Well, actually, she no longer is behind the Jo Malone company. She has Jo Loves, but she started the Jo Malone company, which is they sell very expensive fragrances and they are niche. But this stuff here, she did create and I actually absolutely respect Jo Malone. She is a fantastic perfumer. But on that day, just staying at home, I did go 3 sprays of this stuff. Didn't want to go heavy because this stuff is very, very potent, very strong stuff here because it is spicy. You, of course, have that ebony wood in there as well. And it's just so good. I actually love this stuff. For some reason, like, I'm almost like addicted to this fragrance. It just, I always want to smell it. And for some reason, it happens a lot with Jo Malone, like Oud and Bergamot I love Maritaco. Ebony Wood is no exception to that as well. They are just all fantastic fragrances. Even though Jo Malone didn't actually create Oud and Bergamot, but it is still in her line. But yeah, very, very good fragrance. I did go, like I said, 3 sprays, no compliments, just pretty much relax at home on that cold, snowy day. All right, so wrapping the week off on Saturday. Now for Saturday, extremely cold day again. It got down to 0 degrees. Didn't really reach the negatives, I believe it, yeah, it got down to 0 degrees. But on that day, I pretty much for most of the day relaxed at home, chilled. But in the evening, I actually did go out to this lobster dinner, which was so enjoyable, so tasty. We actually got full lobsters, and you just take them apart. You know, they can rip the tail off and stuff like that, rip the legs off, things like that. But if you guys ever tried lobster like that, you definitely have to. It's very, very good. But the fragrance I chose to wear is actually a fragrance I just recently got in a swap as well. And man, I love this stuff. And the fragrance is actually John Varvatos, the original fragrance here. Now, with this one, before I actually did go extremely heavy on the sprays. I went 15 sprays of this stuff, which you don't really need. This stuff is pretty strong, at least in the opening. It does. John Varvatos are known to pretty much disappear within like maybe 5 hours or so. They don't have that good of longevity, but it does project very, very nicely. But I did go with this. Now, what I love about this fragrance, this stuff is very unique. I believe this fragrance came out in 2004. It actually contains a note of oud. So I don't know if this is actually one of the first designer fragrances that had oud in it. It might actually be because oud wasn't really popular until I believe maybe like 2010 and up. So yeah, 2004 has oud, but also what makes this very unique, it has the note of dates, which I just love dates. If you don't know what that is, it's actually a Middle Eastern fruit that is so nutritious, and they kind of is like natural sweetener, pretty much like natural honey. I love dates. I eat them quite a lot, actually, to be honest with you guys. I just sit there and eat them. They're kind of like raisins, but don't taste like raisins, if you know what I mean. But this has dates in it. I don't know any other fragrance that actually contains the note of dates. And what's weird is I was actually looking for a fragrance that had dates. I thought that would be very, very cool. I love the way they smell. And then I found out that this actually had it, so I had to get a bottle of it, guys. But so good. It's very, very masculine. And this might actually be my favorite John Varvatos. I do own 5 of them, and I think this one tops them all. Let me know if you actually tried this one or what your favorite John Varvatos is. I'm very curious. I actually prefer this over Dark Rebel even, which is very beloved. But that's what I wore for the lobster dinner and just chilling. I was with my mom. She said that this smells very, very powdery, but I can see it coming across powdery actually, especially as it starts to dry down. It does have a powdery kind of asset to it. But yeah, very, very good fragrance. But that's going to wrap up my weekly fragrance rotation for this cold, snowy week. But let me know down below, as usual, what you guys chose to wear throughout the week. I'm very curious. Also, leave this video a like if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll catch all you guys in the next fragrance upload. Take care, everybody.